This is Susan Bradley for SUS Online. This week we're going to talk about remote desktop and specifically certain tweaks that we can do to make it more secure. So how's everyone doing? We already know that it's going to be at least until April 30th, until the United States comes out of work from home quarantine guidelines from the President. And we're probably making sure that our home users are set up. They can remote in. Your bandwidth is holding up. But you're also probably, like me, a little concerned that your users will click on something they're not supposed to and bring something into the network. So, what things can you do to beef up that remote desktop? First and foremost, I hope that no one is opening up 3389 directly to the web. There's a program called TS Grinder. It's been around for years and it's long been used to brute force the password on open connections. And don't think about moving that 3389 to another port. That doesn't work either. Attackers just look for the kinds of transmission that RDP or TS gateway comes. That telltale pattern is seen by the attackers, and they'll look for it. So don't just move yourself to another port and think that's good enough. You want to make sure that your servers, and specifically your workstations, are patched. Remember that if you have Windows 7 workstations that you've placed back into service, it's not too late to get those ESU packages. Extended security updates can still be purchased for Windows 7 and be deployed. So again, even for older machines that you're putting back into service, make sure they're patched. Next, remember that you can add two-factor authentication even to remote desktop. There's platforms out there that will be able to add it to existing servers. And just a reminder, the issue of Bluekeep, the vulnerability called Bluekeep, is still out there, so you'll want to make sure you're fully patched. And look to see if you can enable network-level authentication for RDS servers. Remember, you can go to Computer, Policies, Windows Components, Remote Desktop Services, and go to the Remote Desktop Host setting and go into Security. Click on that Require User Authentication for remote connections by using network-level authentication. You want to set it enabled, and you want to click Apply. This setting needs to be done on the Remote Desktop Session Host role. So think of where you've got those RDS servers out there and put that NLA setting in place. Next, you want to shut off the ability for users to shut down or restart. Often, users that are not used to remote desktop session don't realize that they're logging into an environment where others are involved. So you'll want to go to User Configuration, Administrative Templates, and find the setting for Start Menu and Taskbar. Find the option that says Remove and Prevent Access to the Shutdown, Restart, Sleep, and Hibernate commands, and you want to enable that. Another setting you'll want to do is for performance, because if performance is not good, your users will not be happy. So go back to Computer Configuration, Administrative Templates, Windows Components, and then go into Remote Desktop Services. Find the Remote Desktop Session Host, and then go to Remote Session Environment. Under here, you'll want to adjust several settings. You'll want to limit the maximum color depth. You'll want to enforce removal of the remote desktop wallpaper. This will slow down an environment really fast, so you want to make sure you enable this so that there's no background image. You'll want to go into Remote FX settings and optimize that visual experience. And you'll want to configure compression for Remote FX data. You want to enable this and optimize to use less network bandwidth. And finally, review the settings under Configure Remote FX Adaptive Graphics, and you want to optimize that for minimum bandwidth usage. Finally, you'll want to review the TLS and SSL settings. In particular, you want to go out to IIS Crypto and actually run it against the server and tweak those settings. For Server 2008 R2, you'll need a patch to support TLS 1.1 or 1.2 for RDP. You'll need to install specifically KB 308.0079 in order to support the higher TLS settings. If you have Windows Server or Server 2008, you'll need to update the RDP client to 8.1 version. Bottom line, review the settings in KB 245030 in order to restrict the SSL encryption levels and put them up to higher, better settings. Finally, look to newer ways to provide virtual desktops. Microsoft has a new offering called Windows Virtual Desktop that can be deployed to users. Firms are accelerating moving to Windows Virtual Desktop right now. Microsoft indicated they had a massive growth in this, and they have lots of resources online to help you with this initial deployment. And finally, don't forget about the resources on the IDG Tech Talk YouTube channel. There was just a recent YouTube video about why new remote work policies attract hackers. It's an interesting video and you should check it out. Until next time, stay safe, stay secure,